Good afternoon. Today is 25th April and today is the DNA Day. And while most of us have started using the word DNA as a matter of speech, how does DNA help in ascertaining our wellness parameters? Clinical nutritionist Hena Nafis will share her thoughts with us today on Nutrigenomics. Well, that is even more mysterious, but Hena, who runs Nutrience by Hena Nafis, a clinic to take care of your weight loss, wellness, nutrigenomics, and even kids' nutrition, among other things, will also demystify it all. Welcome, Hena, in today's show. I would like to start asking you, what is actually nutrigenomics? And is there a difference between nutrigenomics and nutrigenetics, or they are the same? So if you can just throw some light on it.
Hello everyone, and before I answer the question, I just wanted to say that we're doing this program today in the midst of the pandemic where so many people are losing their loved ones. But since we had already decided to go ahead with, we have announced that we're going to be doing this program, so we're doing it today. Our prayers and our good wishes are with all of you who are going through difficult times right now. Well, now coming to the World DNA Day and talking about nutrigenomics, well, there's a big term, umbrella term, which is called nutritional genomics, right? And there is a difference between nutrigenetics and nutrigenomics. Most people use this interchangeably, saying that it's a gene-based diet. But nutritional genomics is about the relationship between your diet, your nutrition, and disease. And how can we, bring them all together and help you avoid chronic diseases or deal with chronic diseases. Now, if you talk about nutrigenomics, first we need to understand nutrigenetics. What nutrigenetics means is that how does your gene affect your diet response? Like if you carry a certain gene in your body, you will respond to a certain nutrient in a certain way. Like say you have a variant of something called the ACE gene, then you will respond, if you carry the high risk variant of that, then you will respond badly to salt intake. The blood pressure will shoot up. But if you don't have, you have the low risk variant of that gene, then your blood pressure will not shoot up if you have high, even if you have the ACE gene, I mean the low variant. So depending on which variant you're carrying, your response to a diet will differ, right? Now, nutrigenomics is the science where we actually use nutrition to affect your genes. We use nutrition to influence how you will respond, how your genes respond. It's a little confusing if you see. How should I put it? To put it rightly, I would say, there's no one size fits all diet. Don't we see that a friend of yours responds badly to lactose, but somebody has no problem with lactose? Some people say gluten is bad for me, but for some people gluten is not bad. Like some dietitians will tell you don't have ghee, but some will tell you have ghee. The reason why you have this mixed response or mixed advice, and why nutrition sometimes is seen as an incomplete or a misleading science by some people, because you get these different advices from different people. Now, actually, your genes actually bring removes all these confusion. If you look at the genetic makeup of a person, you will understand why different people respond differently to different diets, right? So this is what is nutrigenomics and nutrigenetics.
Okay. And what is nutrigenic testing?
See, nutrigenetic testing is where we take a saliva sample and try and test your DNA and see what kind of gene variants do you carry. For instance, like say some people are caffeine sensitive. So we look for a gene called CYP81 gene and see if you are a good metabolizer of that gene of caffeine or a bad metabolizer of caffeine. So actually, from your saliva sample, your DNA is extracted, and then it's kind of tested to see which variant of the gene do you carry. You carry good variant or the bad variant, the high risk variant or the low risk variant. So this is what nutrigenetic testing is. It is very simple. It can be done at home. You just need a simple kit, and you have to kind of give a saliva sample, and that and then it's sent to the labs, and it takes about 6 weeks for the reports to come. It's once in a lifetime test. It's not done every day. And saying that, I would also like to mention that, see, we have identified a certain number of genes. Genes are still being discovered as we speak now. So what happens is, we know like maybe 10 genes which is related to obesity, or 15 genes related to diabetes or whatever. So we can at the moment just check those 10 genes only. We don't know about the other genes. Once we know, it will become more comprehensive. So nutrigenetic testing is still in, I won't say in its infancy stage, but it's come a long way, but still has a long way to go. But again, yeah. But I think that whatever information we have right now, through that also we can extract quite a lot of information about a person. Like, for instance, how do I describe this is, we always talk about personalized nutrition, right? Whatever we're practicing right now is personalized nutrition. Like, you come to me, you tell me about your lifestyle and what kind of foods you like, what you don't like, what kind of, and we make your diet chart according to your personal lifestyle. But when you talk about nutrition, gene-based diet, we're not only doing a personalized diet program, but we're also doing something called a precise diet program. We know exactly how you respond to a certain nutrient after doing a genetic testing, and based upon which we give you recommendations. So that makes it very, very precise.
So what you are saying is that it's a very simple process of doing the test, and it can be done at home also. But where do you get this kits, or how do you take this? I mean, you need certain kit or something to do the test.
Yes. So there are companies through whom you can order online, but there are also dietitians who have tie-ups with these companies, and they recommend these tests, because see, getting the reports is not the answer. It's about interpreting the reports. We are very technical. Somebody who doesn't have knowledge about genes or genetics won't be able to interpret the report.
Won't be able to guide us also regarding that. Okay. That's very important. And just like, you get immediate results from the test, or it takes some time to get the results?
6 weeks for the reports to come, because your whole DNA is being opened up, and then the investigations are done. So it's a process, yeah. And this test anyway is done once in your lifetime. You don't have to keep on repeating it, because things don't really change. If you are a low risk variant, you will be a low risk variant. If you're a high risk variant, you will be a high risk variant.
Okay. So what is important over here, as I could understand, is that after the test is done, the analysis of the entire parameters are very, very important, and one has to prescribe the diet accordingly after a proper study of the parameters. Okay. Now, Hena, as far as I know, that our genetic potential is totally uncontrollable. That's what I know, that its potential is totally uncontrollable, and we are born with certain genetic potential which cannot be changed. So do you think that we actually, since it cannot be changed, then why do we need this information, or whether it is going to help us in any way?
True. Yeah, because we've always learned that your genes are the uncontrollable factors, and your lifestyle is what you can modify, and so, and that's why we feel that many times we blame our genes for our problems. Like sometimes there was a patient of mine who was a very old client of mine, who would always tell me, I'm never going to become thin because it's in my genes. So we did a testing, nutrigenetic testing, and we found out that actually she didn't carry the risk variant for obesity. She didn't have problems with her genes. It was actually a lifestyle. So in fact, it also in genetic testing, you also get to know whether the problem is in your genes or not. Because all this while you're blaming your genes for your problem, but the problem was not in your genes. So actually, it helps you, kind of omit the reasons for your problem also. Like, you can omit that, okay, this problem is not because of my genes. See, if you have a deep problem.
So basically ruling out.
Yes. So, you could have obesity because of hormonal issues. You could have obesity because of lack of physical activity, or because of a very poor diet, you know. So and for some people it's in their genes also. So sometimes we just take it as an excuse because we don't want to modify our lifestyle. We always blame our genes for it. So through this testing, we at least know that okay, this is something which I can work upon. It's not in my genes, right? Number one.
Okay.
Number two, there's a whole discipline called epigenetics. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
epigenetics is another hand of nutritional genomics, whereby we have
Mhm.
seen that a good lifestyle or a good diet can actually influence the gene expression, by which I mean that you can actually switch on or switch off a gene. So you have a risk for, say, obesity. By a good lifestyle, you can actually blunt that gene down. You know, so there is, through science today, we know that there is a gene environmental interaction. And if you know that your genes are a problem, then through a proper lifestyle and diet, you can actually suppress that gene and make it express in a better way. So, your bad things can be suppressed and your good things can be expressed. And partially, I'm not saying fully, but partially. So even if you can suppress it a little bit, you'll be able to, suppress your problems also a little bit.
Now, what I feel is that, say, most of us, we don't want to know what diseases we can get in future. Say, because we might get anxious, regarding after getting to know that these are the diseases we'll get. So that's the reason, I would like to ask you that how do we go about it and what should actually we do? Because if we get to know,
See, genomics, if you
would it
see,
affect us in any way?
if you look at genomics, there is something called medicinal or nutritional genomics or medical genetics and nutrigenetics. So medical genetics is where you get to know that what are your risks for certain disease. Like a lot of women do the BRCA1 or BRCA2 to know if they are at a high risk of getting breast cancer. Like Angelina Jolie had done it, and then she got a mastectomy done, elective mastectomy done before she actually got a problem. There are some people who are very proactive about their health, or they see diseases in their own family and they're scared that I may get it, and then they do these testing and find out. And many of us don't want to do it because we don't want to know that you never know in the future whether you get it or not, because it's just not your genes which makes you up; it's other factors as well. We've seen that a good lifestyle can actually suppress your genes or change the gene expression. So medical genetics is different. So if you don't want to do that, don't do it. But nutrigenetics, I think, is an empowering science. It doesn't tell you that you'll get heart disease or you get cancer or you get this. It only tells you how your genes respond to certain nutrients. Does keto diet work for you? Does high protein work for you? You know, should you eat carbohydrates or you shouldn't eat carbohydrates? So these are nice things to know, because many a times, you give up on certain foods and probably, it's not working. You don't eat carbohydrate, but you still have a weight issue, right? So there are these problems, which you can actually know about it, and I don't think these things will keep you anxious. Moreover, there are people who have a lot of supplements, like they have vitamin supplements, they have calcium supplements. Through these nutrigenetic testing or nutrigenomics, you get to know that if you are a slow metabolizer of certain vitamins or a good metabolizer of certain vitamins, right? So if you, through genetic testing, if you get to know that no matter what, you are a slow metabolizer of, say, vitamin E or vitamin C or vitamin K for that matter, you have to take active form of those supplements, and you know exactly that these are the supplements which I need to have. So actually, you're not wasting money on unnecessary supplements. Say if you're a good metabolizer of vitamin C, you wouldn't need to take supplements for vitamin C. You'll always, with your normal diet, you'll be able to maintain that level.
Okay.
At the same time, I would also like to mention that many a times you might have a very low risk variant for a certain vitamin deficiency. Like genetically you're not prone to vitamin D deficiency, but your lifestyle is very poor and you're not doing the right things. Even then, the vitamin D will go down, but that's not genetically predisposed. So that's the difference on which people must understand, that there is a difference between genetic predisposition and there is a lifestyle predisposition as well.
Interesting. Now, Hina, what is the cost and or cost of this entire testing procedure and getting, I mean, following this trend of DNA diet? What is the cost for it?
If you look at it, there are various companies which are offering these tests, and the price ranges between, say, 12K to 15 to 25K. So there are different panels which these people are doing.
So,
Moreover,
why? I mean, why does it vary so much?
see, there are, for a particular gene, there are different variant SNPs is what they test for, the genetic variation
Okay.
people have. So some companies test for very few genes, or they test for less variants. The more variants they check, the more genes they check, the panel will become larger and the cost is higher. So this is what, your a person who's trained in this field will be able to guide you and onto which test you should do. Because, some test reports are good for nothing really. Because if you don't understand it, you don't even know how many variants are being tested. So they probably test one variant, which will not determine whether you have a problem or you don't have a problem. So that's why there's a huge price differences between different companies there.
I see. So I would say I'd like to ask you that a person say I want to consult. So first I should visit someone who knows about it, and then the person will prescribe the tests, and then I should go for it. Or what do you think? Because I on my own I can't go and have a test because I wouldn't know what it is all about.
I'll tell you, I was very intrigued by this whole science, nutrigenomics. I remember in 2006 or 5, I read about it somewhere. So that's like 17 or 16, 14 years ago. And I was like very fascinated when I read that, how you can study your genes and you'll be able to understand, what to eat and what not to eat. So I wanted to practice it, right? So I was in the US and I wanted to do a course over there. But then
Okay.
I was discouraged by some people. They said that this is at a very infancy stage. You can't really, research is still going on, On the basis of these, findings, you can't give recommendations right now. Then, I visited the Nutrilite, manufacturing plant in California in 2014 or 13, I think. And I saw that they had one, section where they were making personalized supplements. So I got a little curious and I asked that, what are you doing there? Then they told me that, we do this genetic testing, and based upon which we make, a personalized supplement for that particular person. So I was like, wow, this is like really, fascinating. But they said that at that point in time it was very, very expensive. And they said this is, all the who's who of America, they are doing this.
Right.
And they are doing, getting their personalized vitamins. Then again, I got a little, curious, and I wanted to study this and all of that. I spoke to a few people again. 2014 again, people told me, it cannot be practiced. There was an American Diabetic Association position statement saying that it's not, you cannot apply it on patient cells, at this moment in time in 2014. So I was twiddling around with it. In the meantime, I saw some of my own patients coming with these reports to me. There were some companies in India who started offering it. And when I would read it, I would understand it as much as the patient could. Like whatever he or she could interpret, being a nutritionist, even I could interpret as much. So I thought, this is not worth, I'm describing at the moment. Then I got into studying it. I finished my certification in 2019. I thought without understanding the subject, because see, I'm not a person who studied genetics. So, I got into it, studied it, got a certification. Then I got into practicing it. And so now I'm a little confident about interpreting these reports. So that is why I would tell my clients or my patients or whoever listening to us right now that please don't do it on your own. If you're losing weight, by following a simple diet, you really don't need to. It's actually for people who have very stubborn weight issues or who have chronic problems like digestive issues and things like that, or they have people who are into sports who need to increase their performance. Those are the people who should actually get into it. It's not something which everybody should do. Yeah, people who are very proactive about their health, they want to do it, they can definitely do it. But if through normal eating plans or normal dietary prescriptions, if things are working for you, you really don't need it. But if you have stubborn weight loss issues, it is good for you. If you're exercising for a long time but you don't see results, maybe need to find out if there's something wrong in your genes, why things are not working for you. So I normally use it on most patients, because I'll give an example. There was a lady who was coming to me, and she would have, she had all symptoms of hormonal imbalance, and we would find it so difficult to make her lose weight. Like, say, in 4 months, we'll see 2 kgs of weight loss. And she's been coming to me from ages, and I used to feel very bad as a practitioner that I'm unable to help her, like, despite uh, doing, whatever I was doing. And we would do blood tests. I would see that her hormone levels in the blood used to be fine. So we can't even treat those problems, although she has symptoms. But then I told her one day that, would you like to try this test? Because, I'm also trying. I'm also experimenting. And we did it. And what was very fascinating, that we found that she was a very bad or slow metabolizer of something called B6 vitamin. B6 vitamin is something which regulates your hormones. So because of which your hormones were imbalanced. So it was very fascinating, and we were able to tweak that. We started giving supplementing her with vitamin B6, and we saw better results. I would have never thought about B6 earlier. Normally we think about vitamin D, vitamin B12, iron, common deficiencies. We don't get into all these B5 and B6 and B3 and all of that. But that's what came out through that picture. Then I had another lady who would always say that coffee doesn't work with me. Coffee is very bad for me. It really affects me. And she got curious. She wanted to do this test, and she did it. And what we found was that she didn't have problems with caffeine. She was a very good metabolizer of caffeine, but she was very sensitive to lactose. So when she would have coffee, she was mixing milk with the coffee, which was giving her the problem, not the caffeine per se. And that is why she would have digestive issues, because she was having her yogurt and her milk products and all of that. But she was actually lactose intolerant, not caffeine intolerant. In fact, there's something very interesting I would like to share with you. There was a classical study called the Stanford study, which was conducted at Stanford University, where they found, we always hear that caffeine is bad for health. Like, coffee is not good. Too much coffee can cause problems and all of that. So what we found was that at the university, there were some students who would really need coffee to function. But some students, they didn't do well on coffee. So they just did this experiment at the university. It's a classical study as far as nutrigenetics is concerned. And they found out that there are some people who are slow metabolizers of caffeine, and there are some people who are fast metabolizers of caffeine. So people who are fast metabolizers of caffeine, they use the caffeine very effectively, and these people actually benefit from coffee drinking. If they drink coffee, they can reduce their blood pressure, they can sleep better, they can improve their cognition, as in focus and memory and all of that. So it works very well for some people, protects them from heart disease. Whereas there are some people who are slow metabolizers of caffeine. These people will have high heart rate, they will have insomnia, they will have problems with caffeine. So that is why we see differences in people with coffee drinking. So people who are fast metabolizers of caffeine, actually they should drink coffee, because that will actually protect them from heart disease. And people who are slow metabolizers of coffee, if they drink coffee, they are increasing the risk for heart disease. So if you do this through nutrigenetic testing, you know whether you should do this or not. Like, I cannot drink coffee at all. I start getting palpitations if I drink a strong cup of coffee. And I found out when I was a student in UK, and we did a heart rate monitoring test, and I drank 8 cups of coffee, and you don't know, my pressure shot up like crazy. So I know that I'm a slow metabolizer of caffeine, because I did that experiment on me. But a lot of people don't. They're unaware, and mistakenly they think that something else is causing the problem. There's a problem somewhere else. So that's what nutrigenomics is all about. It's very precise. It will give you answers to very simple problems that you have, like very chronic problems. Like if you have lactose intolerance or lactose sensitivity, what happens is you always feel bloated. And if you feel bloated, you will have digestive issues, your weight will not go also. So it's not just, the obesity gene, but these things also influence your weight or your well-being. Say you don't have a weight problem, but you always, feeling bloated, uneasy. It spoils your quality of life, isn't it? So sometimes you can find these answers.
Like we have, like Shubhrata Roy says over here, that I dropped coffee permanently some months ago after a lifetime of coffee, and solved my heart problem. My resting heart rate came down by 10 I can't read it totally. So this is something probably interesting to know, that even I saw Hina. I was a uh, I had coffee fan, and I used to drink 7-8 cups coffee. But at one point of time, I never realized that there could be a problem. But I think for past, I remember when I used to go to US, that point of time in my suitcase, I would pack a lot of, various kinds of coffee. It was more coffee than anything else I would bring back. But there I started having BP issues and all other things, and I could make out, though I'm still very fond of it, but I had to give it up because I think coffee creates a problem somewhere. And you think that person like me having problems with the coffee should find out doing a DNA test?
Yes, you can. I mean, maybe you have a problem with salt. Probably you think caffeine is a problem, but maybe it can be salt. Like, for example, the lady I spoke about, she had problems with lactose, not with caffeine.
Okay.
So there is there are 4 sensitivities they mostly test for. One is caffeine, the other is salt, lactose, and gluten. So
And
gluten.
Gluten, yes. Okay. So, what do you suggest, that everyone should actually go for this testing, or after coming for consulting, after a certain point of time, you recommend this test? How does it work?
As I said, like say somebody who's having chronic issues, like say high blood pressure, and he's not being able to control with medication. Even going for a walk is not helping. So maybe you could find out if there are certain nutrients which is playing around with at a genetic level. You're not being able, you're fast or slow metabolizer of a particular nutrient, and maybe changing that might help.
Okay. Fine. So, see this, as you mentioned that, just I would like to know that, which means that, when a person comes for consulting, say your weight loss or some problems, you would first like to see or maybe, or you think all of us should first do the test? That's what I wanted to know, actually.
No, I don't think so. Like I would say that if I give you a simple diet, like whatever I give you your diet history and check you up, and if I feel that if I give you a plan and things improve for you, you don't need to do it. But in case you see that things are not improving, or if you've already tried and you've come to me, you can tell me that I've done so many things and I haven't seen much result. Then of course we can probably do it and find out for you that there is a problem of genetic level or not.
Okay. So it was really very, very okay. We have a question from Govind Katoria. Does it work for all age groups?
Of course, it works for all age groups. I mean, I have done it for my son, and I've done it for myself also. So I did it for my son because he plays cricket. So I wanted to increase his performance, and I want to see what exercises work for him. Strength training, what which exercises are the best for him. What does is he prone to injury? What kind of supplements should I give him? So it gives you a lot of answers to that. So if your child is into some kind of sport, most cricketers do it. A lot of sports people do it because it gives you very precise answers to your problems. So it can be done across all age groups. And the younger you are and you do it, the better it is. But then again, I would say that more and more genes are being discovered. So at the moment, maybe you would check for 10 genes, 20 genes. If you do it 5 years later, you'll be doing it for more genes. So you should be aware that what genes were you testing for. And you should ask the company which does it, like which genes you testing for. That way you will be more, informed about what you've done. Because see, people don't know, which genes are they being tested for. So that is why you need a practitioner who can actually tell you that you've been tested for these number of genes, and so that you exactly know where the variance is going wrong or not going wrong.
Okay. Does it work in case of hormonal problems? Question from Shikha Bajpayee.
Well, it does. As I pointed out, we found out that there are People can have deficiencies, genetic deficiencies. They can be genetically predisposed to certain deficiencies, and there are certain vitamins which can have an effect on your hormones. So we can actually use it and see that what kind of risk variant you have for different nutrients, and based upon which we can prescribe you diets. Like say somebody who has a problem with carbohydrates, and we get to know through that. And because of higher carbohydrate intake, you are actually putting on weight that will affect your hormones. So it can be the other way around also. If you get your weight down, it can actually make your hormones work better. So you can actually know that which diet is the best diet. Whether high protein diet will be more effective for weight loss, whether keto diet will be more effective for weight loss, or you can just simply do with a balanced diet. So you get very precise answers there. So that way, if you lose weight, you can actually improve your hormones. Then
Before we wind up, Hina, I would like to just ask you, since we are facing a very, very challenging time now, and all of us are going through severe crisis. So
yes.
probably, many of us may not be able to do the test right away, or going to the clinics and doing. Many of us might take online consultations because during this time. So is there a way you can suggest, like without doing a direct test for the time being because of this COVID times? So is there a way that something can be followed in the diet pattern? To one is definitely during this time, how do we take care of ourselves? That's there. The other thing is that suppose someone has a facing a problem, like you mentioned the problem, which could be after going through the DNA test, probably the answers would come out, but currently due to the situation we are not able to do the test, and we are having an online consultation. So what is the solution you have for that, for the
All this while we have been working without the DNA test, isn't it?
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So that modus operandi is still in existence.
Still
We are
there.
still doing that. This is again
Right.
for somebody who wants to dig deeper. Wants to understand something, or has been struggling with the problem for a long time and has not been able to find solutions. So that's what I've been saying. That's not that everybody needs to do these tests, but there is an option for you in case you have a problem, and you are not being able to solve it. So you can try this out and see if it works for you.
Okay. Uh, yeah. Shubhrata Roy says O2, CO2 in the lungs and blood, electricity in the nerves, alkali in saliva, acid in stomach, a trillion bacteria in the gut, a pump red heart running the main engineering. The digestive system literally is the body's engine, the brain and mind's engine. The body tells the mind, if you listen, and that it needs sugar, says hydration, rest, etc. I've been saying this in joke. It's not a question. It's just an insight. So, what is your take on this?
Well, I think what he says is quite right. You know, I mean, but at the same time, I would say that we need to uh, understand the body, and some people can, some people cannot. Sometimes we have mysterious problems which we are unable to solve. Which can probably lie at the genetic level, and we can probably, with the advent in science, we can actually go that deep and find out our answers if we don't have answers to the problems. So, I mean, there are a lot of us who are wise enough to find, we can find our solutions to our problems. A lot of people don't need a nutritionist to lose weight, because the problem is simple. If you
Yeah. So
yourself
before
understand.
we end, Hina, just okay. Now, before we end, the one last question to you is that uh, since we got you today, and since, as I was mentioning, that during this COVID times, which is not related totally to DNA, but then since we have got you, we would like to take this opportunity of getting some advice from you regarding this COVID days. How do you think we should just take care of ourselves and keep ourselves fit and fine?
Well, I think The best thing for us to do is, stay at home, wear your mask properly if you're going out, and not believe in, false nutritional claims that, if you eat this, you will not get COVID, because frankly speaking, there's no treatment or cure for COVID as of now, right? And there's nothing, when people talk about boosting immunity, there's nothing called immune boosters. Your immunity can only be boosted by vaccination, right? There's no food which will boost your immunity, but there are nutrients which can support your immune system and make it function well, right? So vitamin A, C, E, D, they are vitamins which you should include in your diet, especially vitamin A and C. So vitamin A rich foods are apricots. Try and eat apricots. Try and eat some mango, because anyways mango season. Mango is rich in vitamin A. These are things that support immune function. Having a few nuts, a few seeds, these are rich in zinc, like seeds like pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds are very rich in zinc. Zinc again supports a healthy immune function. So we have to support our immune function to function better. You can't boost it, right? And secondly,
You can't boost your immunity. Like we get to see a lot of advertisements with boost your immunity.
no,
So
you
you
can
can't do
only
that actually. Oh, this is a learning from me.
you can only boost your immunity through vaccination. Because our
Okay.
overactive immune system is not good for your health, and underactive immune system is also not good for your health. You need a balanced immune system which works effectively. Because if you have
I
an
see.
overactive immune system, it will start attacking your healthy cells also, right? So we need to, we are born with immunity. That's also genetically controlled. There's something called immunity. There's something you're either born with a weak immunity, or a very what should I say, strong immunity. So our role as human beings is to make it function well. I always give an analogy. It's like, you either have a small Maruti car or you have a Mercedes. Now, you can make your Maruti car function well if you keep it well. But you can be born with, you can have a Mercedes, but you don't keep it well, it won't function well. So immunity is the same. You can have immunity, but with a proper diet, you can make it function better by a proper lifestyle. You eat nutritious food, include fruits and vegetables in your diet, have enough water, sleep well, move more, exercise more, your immunity will function well. If you're too stressed out or overwhelmed, try and do some kind of relaxation exercises or meditate a little so that you bring calm down your nerves. Because even stress can affect your immunity. You could probably be born with a very good immunity, but because of the lifestyle patterns, you're probably, derailing it, you're not making it work well. So it's in your hands, to make it function better. But you can't boost it by having a particular supplement or a particular karha or concoction. And sometimes it's dangerous because we've seen people coming to clinics with high potassium levels because of drinking all these, different concoctions of liquid. And too
Okay.
much of vitamin C can interfere with your drugs if you're having take some prescription drugs on a regular basis. So, there are dosages of these things. So don't overdo anything. If you want to have a vitamin C and zinc supplement, try and have not more than 1 gram a day. Something beyond that will cause diarrhea or gastric disturbances. So, and if you can include it from your diet, I mean, you can. But don't have like, nibu pani made with 10 lemons a day. It can increase your potassium levels, right? So I would say just keep calm. If God forbid, if you get it also, it's not always going to be a very, intense form of the disease. It can be a milder version also. So don't be scared. If it comes your way, it comes your way. And we can fight it. Like unfortunately, a lot of people have died because they have not got treatment, or they have thought that this will get better on its own, and they have delayed treatment. I know a lot of people, they didn't take the virus seriously. They thought it's nothing, it's just simple cold and flu to get better. Only once their saturation dropped to very low levels, that's when they rush to hospital. So, be cautious of symptoms who are skeptical about something, who show little signs and symptoms of COVID. Get yourself tested. And if you do have it, then obviously you have to take necessary precautions and stay at home if it's a milder version. Because most people do get milder version of the disease. But I have very few people get, a very intense form of it. So don't worry about it so much. I think, it's just a matter of time. You will also fade away. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Hena. It was really very, very enlightening, and we got to know a lot of interesting facts which we didn't know earlier. And like, of course, this entire DNA mystery which got unfold today, that is something very, very enlightening, as well as the immunity factor which we got to know today. It was of great help. Thank you so much.
Thank you.